In today's video, we will discuss the fallout from that game, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours, which includes some massive Nicholas Kuhn news. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic news. Austin Trusty got on the score sheet for the first time as a Celtic player yesterday, glancing home at the near post to put the Hoops 2-0 up just before the break against St Mirren. The American was restored to the starting lineup at the expense of Liam Scales, who dropped out after a subpar performance at Ibrox. Trusty came in and proved his worth in the 3-0 victory, remaining solid at the heart of the boys' backline and contributing to a clean sheet. Besides a few loose passes, the £6 million man was adequate in his performance. Although a defender, netting for the first time in green and white was a big milestone for Trusty, who took to Instagram post-match, outlining how proud he was of his teammates for securing a big win. First goal for this amazing club. Proud of the boys today with another 3 points. Thank you to all the supporters. It remains to be seen whether the central defender will keep his place at the heart of the Celtic rearguard for Wednesday's visit of Dundee United to Parkhead. Jim Goodwin's side have been in fine fettle this campaign and took points off the boys a few weeks ago at Tannadice, albeit the champions were severely under-strengthened that day. They will have a point to prove on Wednesday evening as they aim to go 16 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership before Rangers play on Thursday. Now on to the main story. Nicholas Kuhn is in it for the long haul at Celtic after netting another 2 goals in the Hoops' 3-0 triumph over St Mirren yesterday. It was a routine victory for the boys, who perfectly bounced back from last Thursday's thumping defeat at Ibrox. Kuhn opened the scoring just after the half-hour mark, sweeping home from inside the box after the Hoops got in behind the Buddies' defence. Austin Trusty doubled the hosts' advantage moments from half-time before the German winger completed the scoring in the second 45. Post-match, Brendan Rodgers' comments criticising the Celtic supporters gathered much attention. Kuhns, though, shouldn't be overlooked. Indeed, as well as emphasising the fact he has a long-term contract in Glasgow, the 25-year-old outlined how his surroundings at Celtic are helping him succeed. Kuhn was asked if this is the best season he's had at any club. "I think that's the best," he said. "But it's also the best team I've played in yet. All the teammates, the staff make it a lot easier for me, and I'm just happy to be here. I think it's just the surroundings. I feel really good. I'm happy to be here, and as I said, everyone makes it easy for me, and I'm just enjoying to play." Now up to 16 goals and 11 assists in 27 Celtic appearances this season, Kuhn has now matched Jota's best season in green and white in terms of numbers. His electric form has been critical to his side's sensational season to date. Despite reported interest from Brentford and Crystal Palace, Kuhn appears locked in at Celtic. His recent comments should encourage fans, with the winger laser-focused on continually developing for the boys. In other news, Stephen Welsh is on the brink of joining KV Mechelen on loan. According to Record Sport, the central defender has arrived in Belgium to seal his move to the Pro League side. Welsh will join the club on loan for the second half of the season, with no option to buy. Brendan Rodgers is said to understand the 24-year-old's desire to play games after he turned out for the Hoops just twice in the opening half of the season. He was more or less Celtic's fourth-choice centre-back, but he will get regular minutes for Mechelen, a club who have been tracking him for a while. Amid Welsh's departure, the Scottish Premiership champions last week recalled Dane Murray from his loan spell at Queen's Park. The youngster was prospering in Glasgow's south side and is now back with the Celts to provide cover at the back and fulfil a homegrown quota for the UEFA Champions League. It remains to be seen how many opportunities he will be given, especially after Welsh, whom he is replacing in the squad, barely played in the opening half of the season. He is now set to crucially go out and get games, though, at a point in his career where playing regularly is pivotal. In other news, Luis Palma feels like a square peg in a round hole at Celtic, and January transfer interest in him has been well documented. Despite a fast start to life in Glasgow, in which he regularly scored domestically and in the UEFA Champions League, the Honduran has fallen out of the picture over the past calendar year. Palma frustrates fans with his performances and has started just 2 of the Hoops games this season. He is on the fringes of Brendan Rodgers' squad, and was last week linked with a move to Genoa among other clubs including Olympiacos and Atlanta United. Arsenal invincible Patrick Vieira is in charge of Genoa and was recently quizzed on potential January arrivals amid swirls of a move for Parma. He remained tight-lipped. "It is a period where there will be many rumours about players arriving and leaving, and we will have to manage it calmly and with confidence," said the Frenchman, Record Sport. "I am very calm about the group that I have at my disposal to work with. I understand the demand in this period, but my focus is on the team and not on the individuals who leave or arrive. Despite vast exit links, it looks like Celtic will need to bring in more wing cover before Parma's departure, with it emerging over the weekend that the club aren't keen to part ways with the 24-year-old due to a lack of depth out wide. James Forrest is currently injured, meaning if Parma did leave, Brendan Rodgers' sole wing options would be Nicholas Kuhn, Dyson Maeda, and Yang Hyun-jun. One can therefore comprehend why a Parma exit isn't being sanctioned. If Celtic sign a winger over the course of this month, though, the situation could change. Now, lastly, the Celtic team weren't aware that Rangers dropped points before kicking off against St Mirren on Sunday, according to winger Nicholas Kuhn. The German netted twice in the 3-0 victory, his brace coming either side of a glancing Austin Trusty header. It was a routine win for the boys who, despite defeat at Ibrox a few days ago, moved 13 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership after Sunday's events. Indeed, in the early kick-off at Easter Road, Hibernian drew 3-3 with Rangers in an enthralling clash you couldn't take your eyes off. The result gave Celtic an almighty opportunity when they got underway at 3 p.m. versus the Buddies, although the players weren't aware that their rivals had dropped points pre-match. "We heard afterwards," said Kuhn. "We have to focus on our game, and for us it was the most important to get the 3 points, and now we have already a game in 3 days." Bouncing back from Ibrox was pivotal for Celtic yesterday, and Brendan Rodgers clearly didn't want the players getting any distractions pre-match, so kept Rangers' score away from them. His side will now look to further extend their lead at the top of the Scottish Premiership when Dundee United visit Glasgow's East End on Wednesday evening. The champions can move 16 points clear of Rangers with a victory before they face Dundee at Dens Park on Thursday night. After midweek, attention then turns to Dingwall and an arduous trip to face Ross County on Saturday. Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comments section below. That does bring us to the end of today's video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you,